Hey everybody, welcome to Boomer versus X. Come one, come all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Glad to have you. How you doing, Boomer?
Hey, how you doing,
I'm
Xer?
doing good.
Thank you very much to all the people that are coming back. Hey, do we have any new subscribers?
No, we don't.
Subscribe. Do it right now. Do it right now. I know you get lazy. I don't like subscribing either, but do it. Do it. Help an old man out. Help the old
Yeah,
people. Help the elderly.
that's what happens when you get old. You call everybody lazy.
Yes, they don't know how hard it was for us to grow up in the 70s and 80s in beautiful Southern California.
Oh, it was a lot easier than it is now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we had a lot of fun back then, man. I don't know what
Yeah,
these
we
kids
were.
do for fun anymore.
You could be racist. You could be a little bit racist, and people would just laugh it off.
Hey, man, we had Mel Brooks and Richard Pryor. How could you not
That's
laugh
right.
at racism shit, you know?
Well, we have Dave Chappelle nowadays, but they're not allowed. You know, we have the talent, but they're not allowed.
Well, I don't know when this cancel culture, when did it start? On the COVID? The cancel culture stuff?
Nah, I think it started before then.
Really? Mm.
Yeah. Speaking of cancel culture, the big trending topic today is that there's a civil war with the GOP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently
Let's go to war.
it's going to destroy the party, Boomer.
Yes, I've heard this many times before. Yeah.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
So it's nothing new, huh?
No. This is nothing new. The sky is falling. You know, people that I see on the internet is it hasn't fallen yet.
Mm.
I'm still wearing the hats, you know.
Oh, your hair has fallen, so that's
Yeah,
one
yeah. My hair
casualty.
has fallen. The parties are going to last. The parties have been around for hundreds of years, for 100 years.
Right. All right.
Uh,
Well, let me introduce to you Mr. Randy Fine. Randy Fine is really upset with Tucker Carlson. He calls Tucker anti-Semitic. Let's listen.
But make no mistake, today, Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous anti-Semite in America. He has chosen to take on the mantle of leader of a modern day Hitler Youth, to broadcast and feature those who celebrate the Nazis, those who call for the extermination of Israel, to defend Hamas, to even criticize President Trump for stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions. Friends, make no mistake, Tucker is not MAGA. Tucker's fall from grace has been one of the most extraordinary implosions in political history. And the rapidity of it has created real challenges for us all. Because our friends don't have our shared experience. I even deal with this with my colleagues in the House.
All right. Well, that's basically it. He's angry at Tucker Carlson.
Arthur, like I told you before, I see, for those people who don't know Charles Lindbergh, the young 20-year-old who doesn't know Charles Lindbergh, I see Tucker Carlson as a modern version of Charles Lindbergh. Charles Lindbergh, well, like I told you before, Charles Lindbergh, just to give a recap, was an American hero. He was the first American to fly across the Atlantic, and he became a national hero. And he got involved. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? He got involved with the America Firster movement. Hey, sounding familiar? America First? Yeah. And I've heard that America First since I was in high school, 100 years ago. And what they were isolationists, and we shouldn't go to war with Hitler, and Hitler's a nice guy. He actually went to Germany. He got a medal from Hermann Goring, and he paddled around with the Nazis, and he came back, and guess what? We got to World War II. and he became an anti-Semite, and he went around the nation. It's a Jewish conspiracy. It sound familiar? Jewish conspiracies. They're going to take over the world. They're telling us what to do. They're controlling the United States government. They're controlling FDR. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is controlled by the Jews. Does that sound familiar? And once World War II came, he had a downfall, and everybody criticized him, and he went not into hiding, but he went into seclusion. He did work for the government. He did aviation work for the government. He consulted for the Air Force, but he never recovered. He never quite recovered from that mistake, from that downfall.
Right.
And Tucker Carlson reminds me of Charles Lindbergh. I looked up to Tucker Carlson. I listened to him. I remember when he wore the bow ties. Remember him when he wore the bow tie? Did you see him in the CNN and counterpoint, whatever that show was? Tucker Carlson's been around for a long time.
Right.
He's been around for 30 years, something like that. Maybe, yeah, something like that. And now he's going into Charles Lindbergh land. Jewish conspiracy, anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish rhetoric, praising Hitler, and
When has Tucker Carlson praised Hitler?
Well, he hasn't praised Hitler directly. But indirectly, he says that Churchill was the villain. That Hitler was basically provoked into the war. That's not quite praising Hitler, but he also reminds me of a guy named Pat Buchanan. I went through this with Pat Buchanan. You remember Pat Buchanan?
No.
Pat Buchanan was a hardcore Catholic. He listened to a guy named Father Coughlin back in the 30s. And Father Coughlin, you look up Father Coughlin's speeches, he was a great orator. Father Coughlin was a badass orator. I'm wow. But he also said the Jewish conspiracy, they're taking over the world. He was a very anti-Semitic person, racist person for the time. And so Pat Buchanan listened to him as an influence. And Pat Buchanan worked for the Nixon administration. He worked for the Reagan administration. But he had anti-Semitic views. He thought the Jews were taking over the world, just like every other conspiracist that I've known in my entire life. How 16 million people can take over the world, I don't understand. But
Pat
Buchanan defended. He defended. We used to. We had a squad in the Department of Justice, the FBI, going after the last living Nazi war criminals that were still alive. And Pat Buchanan hated it. I remember him blowing a gasket when we arrested an 80-year-old or 70-year-old Nazi prison guard who killed thousands of people. Pat Buchanan would go ballistic.
But we're talking about Tucker Carlson. We're not talking about Pat Buchanan.
Well, I'm telling you, the comparison the comparison has always been there with these people. This is nothing new.
The thing of it is, I've never heard Tucker Carlson praise Hitler. I think go ahead.
I never said. Let me correct it. Let me correct it.
You want to correct it?
Yes.
Okay.
Tucker Carlson is like Pat Buchanan. Pat Buchanan saw Churchill as the aggressor, as the Hitler and the German state as a thing that needed to be pacified, not going to war with. We needed to make a treaty. He defended Nazi war criminals, and he was very anti-Semitic, and that's Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is a carbon copy almost of
but I don't see how Tucker Carlson is anti-Semitic.
Tucker Carlson says that Churchill is the villain.
Well, that's an opinion of historical matters. You know, when I look at it, I
That's
see
not just an opinion, Arthur.
yes, it's an opinion. No,
Those are
it's an
fighting
opinion.
words.
No, they're not. It's an
Yes, they are.
opinion. No, they're not, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
When I hear Tucker Carlson speak about Churchill, I feel like I'm listening to a history nerd giving his take on history. He has a difference of opinion. He didn't agree with Churchill. He's very anti-war. Well, I'm the opposite. I'm very pro-war. I don't know if I should have admitted that, but I'm very pro-war. Shit, should I edit that out?
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, I just think Tucker Carlson has a difference of opinion, and I don't think that makes him a lover of Hitler, and I don't think that makes him a hater of Jews.
This conversation that we're having, this back and forth that we're having right now, has been going on in political circles for 100 years. They said the same thing about Charles Lindbergh. He's not an anti-Semite, even though he's not a guy with the Nazis. Even though he got a medal from Hermann Goring, even though he gave a lot of speeches of like hating the Jews and the comparison.
Well, you got to take yourself back. You got to take yourself back to the time. You got to take yourself back to when Charles Lindbergh was alive. He was a German.
And get a load of this.
He didn't have to accept it.
I remember seeing people who knew Pat Buchanan interviewed, and they said, well, he talks negatively about the Jews, but he's not an anti-Semite.
Right, but we're not talking about Pat Buchanan. We're talking about Tucker Carlson.
And I'm telling you, Tucker Carlson is Pat Buchanan.
Okay, give me an example.
But Pat Buchanan and Tucker Carlson are very similar, and we're talking the effect of the Republican movement, the Republican Party, is very similar, and the defense of Pat Buchanan was very similar, and the criticism of Pat Buchanan was very similar. So, you know, is Tucker Carlson a necessary part of the conservative movement? Are we going to get rid of him? We didn't get rid of Pat Buchanan. In fact, Pat Buchanan, I remember him giving the Culture War speech. I saw it live on my television at the Bush rally, convention. Right. So, you know, I know Ben Shapiro has got a big fight with Tucker Carlson, but that's more personal. I'm disappointed in Tucker Carlson that he went this direction.
What direction? The direction that he doesn't agree with you? Because that could be disappointing to people when somebody that you look up to doesn't agree with you.
It's more than agreeing, being in agreement. It's the twisting or manipulation of a definitive truth,
which is
that Hitler was evil, Churchill was a hero. Those are truths. Those are undeniable, unquestionable truths.
Well, he's never said that Hitler wasn't evil. He's never said that once.
You see, that's the same language that's been I've seen for my entire life.
Give me an example. Let me just say this again. Has Tucker Carlson ever said definitively Adolf? No. Let me finish.
I know what you're Tucker.
You do not. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe. Unless you love Hitler, you don't need those kind of subscribers. No, you know what? You still can if you want. Just hit that subscribe button.
We'll take anybody.
We'll take anybody. Say. All right. No. So seriously, Has Tucker Carlson ever publicly stated Adolf Hitler was a morally virtuous, loving, good man?
Not in those words.
Not in those words.
This is where the manipulation of the English language, if you know how to use it, comes into your favor.
But is it manipulation or is it just a difference of an opinion?
So when Johnny Cochran put those gloves on O.J. Simpson and he said, if it don't fit, you must acquit.
You have to acquit. They didn't fit.
But O.J. Simpson butchered 2 people and everybody, the evidence is there. The DNA was there. He was linked to the scene. But Johnny Cochran said in the manipulation of the English language, if it don't fit, you must acquit.
Right.
What was he saying?
Well, he was defending his client. He was doing his due diligence as a defense attorney.
As a guy who knows how to use the English language. So when Tucker Carlson and a guy named Irving, a British guy named Irving I saw a long time ago.
Wait, what was his first name?
Oh, God, I don't remember. He was a Hitler apologist. He was also a Churchill hater. He was a revisionist World War II supposed historian. He was a British guy, and he wrote a couple of books.
Right, but Johnny Cochran was he was doing his due diligence as an attorney. He's a defense attorney, and his client is facing life in prison. So a defense attorney's job is to do whatever he can and say and strategize to get his client off. That's a system we have.
So what is Tucker Carlson's job now?
His job is to commentate.
Telling me and the millions of people who look at him, Churchill was the bad guy.
Well,
what does that mean? What is it? So Churchill was the bad guy. That must mean that Hitler was the good guy?
No, that's your
interpretation. No, I didn't say that.
That's your interpretation.
Well, okay. What is Tucker Carlson saying to me? What am I supposed to gain from that?
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Tucker Tucker Carlson's job is to commentate. He's a commentator. That's his job. Tucker Carlson is giving you his opinion regarding Churchill, and that opinion doesn't agree with your opinion, so therefore you come to the conclusion that he hates Jews. You see how that works? Like, listen, let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say I was pro going to war with Iraq. That doesn't mean I hate Iraqi people. That means that I feel that they have weapons of mass destruction and it's a matter of national security. But it doesn't mean that I hate Iraqi people. It doesn't mean I have a racist hatred towards Iraqi people and that I want them all extinct.
But you've given me a definitive, conclusive, concrete explanation of your view. Let's go to war with Iraq. Mm-hmm. Tucker Carlson gives me the explanation that the Jews are controlling the Republican Party.
No, that's the impression you got. That's what you worked up in your head. It's kind of like I say, you know, there's another perspective on Hitler. If it wasn't for Hitler, think about it. All of Europe probably would have been invaded by the Russians. But that doesn't mean I want all Jews exterminated. It's just looking at history. It's looking at world history and having a perspective on it. Listen, how about Stalin? Before Stalin, Russia was ruled by a bunch of serfs. After Stalin, it was an industrial revolution. He brought Russia into this industrial empire. Now, was he an evil figure? Absolutely. Did he kill millions? Yeah. Is he an evil genius? Of course. Absolutely. He was in any Christian standards, Stalin is going to burn in hell for all of eternity. You know, but it's more complicated than that.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's the
Yes, it is.
good and evil. The
But
intricacy.
I'm not denying that Stalin is evil. He is evil. I'm just giving you a perspective of world history.
And he needed to be fought.
Of course he did. Absolutely he did.
Then that did Hitler pull Germany out of poverty? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
But how did he do it? The hatred of the Jews.
Right.
We must pull ourselves out of poverty because the Jew did this to us.
But I don't think that Edgar hates all Jewish people because he said Hitler pulled Germany out of poverty. I don't immediately come to that conclusion. I don't make up some sort of, imagined suspicion that you hate Jews.
The intricacies of a historical event are there. They happened. And you can examine them piece by piece.
Yeah. Right.
But the overall picture as to who led that event, is he a good guy or a bad guy? In this case, it's black and white.
Again,
Churchill was the good guy, Hitler was the bad guy. So when these guys tell me,
but
Irving,
here's where you're
Buchanan, Tucker Carlson,
here's
tell
where you're
me
making
that
the
Churchill
mistake.
is a bad guy.
But here's where you're making the mistake. When did he say Hitler was a good guy? He didn't. He didn't.
See, they use language, they hide behind language by not making a committed decision.
That's an accusation. Give me the proof.
He is like David Duke.
You can't give me the proof. Now you're comparing him to another white
I'm
supremacist.
telling you, Tucker Carlson will never say Hitler was a good guy because he knows that's a death sentence.
But
so
you believe
hides it. He shades it.
How do you know? That is the accusation. Now provide me the proof. You made the claim. Now give me the evidence. You can't. You can't because you don't know.
No, Tucker Carlson has never said that I'm aware of Hitler is a good guy. He's never said that. As far as I can tell.
Because you can't read minds. You're not a mental brain reader. You're not Mysterio.
I can read language. I can read what you tell me. I remember David Duke and his speeches.
And when you read that, and there is no speech that Tucker Carlson ever wrote about hating Jews. It doesn't exist. Read it. Read me the evidence. Read it to me right now.
David Duke was the leader of the Grand Wizard of the KKK, and
we're talking about Tucker Carlson. We're not talking about.
I'm talking about language, the use of language. All right, I'm talking about the use of language.
Yeah, really,
and what they say in the language.
What do they say?
That's got you have to read into it.
I love Churchill.
Come out and tell you what they really think, because they know what they really think. If it came out, people will turn on them.
But if you make an accusation, you have to have the evidence. You don't have any evidence. I think Winston Churchill was an amazing figure in world history. I think he was a badass. I wish I could be like Winston Churchill.
Yes.
I absolutely do. But you got to understand, people have all sorts of perspectives on world history. And unless they come out and say, hey, I don't like X, or hey, I like X, I mean, you got to just take their perspective.
No, Arthur, it's not that. It's people are
what you're saying,
sneaky. People are sly. People
what
are
you're saying is, if my
people
opinion is
manipulate
different
language.
than yours,
You know,
then I am whatever
who's
you
going to
want
come
me
out
to
except
be.
Tom Metzger and William Pierce from the compound. Except those guys, they're going to come out and do the Hitler salute.
In my
they're
book,
unapologetic.
if you're going to
people
call
like
me
Tucker
a racist,
Carlson, like
you
Pat
need to prove
Buchanan,
it.
like
Yeah, you're just gonna talk.
these other people,
You're spurging.
What?
If you're going to call me a racist, if you're going to say that I want all Jews exterminated, you better prove it. Otherwise, you're just full of hot air. Let me ask you this. So what do you think? Should Tucker Carlson be canceled?
No, they've never been canceled. That's what I've been trying to tell you. We embraced Pat Buchanan. We embraced him.
Nick Fuentes has been canceled off of every platform.
Even though he knew he was anti-Semitic, even though
David Duke was canceled. David Duke has been canceled. Nick Fuentes has been canceled off of every platform unimaginable.
David Duke ran for office and he won. He was a state senator for Mississippi, Louisiana.
But he has been canceled.
Yeah.
Let's hear what what's her name? Brett Cooper. Let's hear what she has to say. How do you like my Rumble Premium?
Oh, okay.
These tweets from Ted Cruz, I'm going to read you next, are a great example of this. So just a month ago, he tweeted this. He said, "They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. Political violence is a left-wing phenomenon. Enough is enough. We need to shut it down." And then in response to Fuentes and Tucker this week, he tweeted this. "Trump's bombing of the Ayatollah's nuclear facilities made the little Nazi mad. Good." So now you're turning around and you're calling somebody that you don't like a Nazi. You're doing this out of blind rage because you're so angry that the conservative base's attitudes are rapidly changing, that Nick Fuentes is getting national attention. And so you have turned around and in response, you are compromising your own values in anger, which is such a dangerous precedent to set. And unfortunately for you guys, yes, the attitudes are changing. So again, it makes sense why this group is incredibly frantic. This is an article here. Take a mark.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, but Arthur,
is when you have a difference of an opinion, if my opinion is different from yours, that doesn't give you the right to A, cancel me, or B, call me a Nazi.
Yes, but Arthur, Nick Fuentes is a Hitler apologist. He is an admirer of Hitler by his own words, an admirer of Hitler, an admirer of Stalin. By his own words. You're talking to a person who doesn't mince words. It's Nick Fuentes. Tucker Carlson is smart. Tucker Carlson knows what to say. He knows what to say, how to say it, how to hide it deep so that people like you get confused. But I don't. I know what you're saying, Tucker Carlson. It's like,
you know what he's saying.
It's like, calling.
Okay, so check this out. People like me. So check this out. I don't have to agree with, let's say there are 10 things. There's a list of 10 things. And people like me read those 10 things. And there are 3 things that I agree with. The rest I don't agree with. That doesn't mean I think you're a Nazi. That doesn't mean I think you're evil. That doesn't mean I want you canceled. In other words, I don't have to agree with every little thing. I can take the good and leave the bad. I could even take the bad and leave some of the good.
That's not the whole discussion in this case.
Oh, what's the whole discussion?
A disagreement with Tucker Carlson is just a disagreement, but what he says to disagree, and the amount of times he says to disagree, and how he justifies his disagreement.
No, but
that's the issue.
Listen to the profoundness of what you're doing. You disagree with him, and then you're labeling him an anti-Semite. You're accusing him of hating Jews.
Because I understand the use of language. I understand the hidden meaning. I understand.
You have no proof.
Let me tell you a joke. There's a guy named Groucho Marx. And he had a show called You Bet Your Life. And on it, he had this woman. And he asks, "Hey, so dear madam, how many children do you have?" And she answers, 11. And Groucho Marx says, 11 children? Madam, I like to smoke my cigar, but I take it out of my mouth every once in a while.
All right.
What did I just say?
Well, she has a penis in her mouth.
Oh, but hey, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. Don't put words in Groucho Marx. Don't put words in his mouth. Don't
No, it was a joke.
No, don't say it.
It was a joke.
But why did you interpret it? Because your mind thought about it.
That's a
your
joke.
Mind disseminated it.
That's a deliberately
figured it out.
Constructed joke. That's a weak analogy.
No. See,
it was deliberately.
It was language.
It was deliberate.
It's the use of language.
It was a deliberate, constructed joke. He
Uh-huh.
constructed it specifically. Okay, so then give me the quote where Tucker Carlson constructed some hidden message that the Jews were evil. Give it to me. You don't have one because it doesn't exist.
Yes, it does.
You don't have one.
I don't have it off the top of my head, but go look for it.
I'm prepared. You made the claim.
I don't agree with the Israeli.
You made the claim.
I don't agree with funding Israel. I don't agree with the idea of how it's bombing Gaza. I don't agree with this, and I don't agree with the Jews. I don't agree with AIPAC. I don't agree. Look at all of the things that Tucker Carlson said about
what you just said was Tucker Carlson not agreeing with the Israeli Hamas conflict or the Israeli-Palestine conflict.
Speaking about Hamas, he called Hamas a harmless political organization. He's never condemned Hamas, as far as I can know. He's always said, sidestep Hamas. Well, they're just a club. They're just a political organization.
Well, compared to the Israeli military might, I mean, they're pretty harmless when they're getting bombed out of oblivion.
So you don't condemn Hamas?
Of course I condemn Hamas. What I'm telling you is, compared to Israel, they're pretty harmless. I mean, they're getting blown out of the water.
He's never condemned Hamas as a terrorist organization, as far as I know.
No, he absolutely has. He absolutely has. That's desperate. Show me the proof he hasn't condemned Hamas. Show me a quote that says,
well, I'm not moderating the show, Arthur. Can't pull Tucker Carlson out of thin air.
Well, you're not moderating the show, but you showed up with a bunch of claims and accusations without any proof. You're the one that made the claim. You show me the evidence.
How can I show you the evidence if I don't control
pull up a quote? Pull up a.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You don't have to control the show.
Memory. I'm gonna have.
You don't have a phone. You don't have a phone. You don't have papers. You don't have. I mean, you came up pretty. You came up like Yosemite Sam shooting those pistols, but there's no ammo in the guns. All I'm saying is, if you're gonna come at somebody accusing them of being an anti-Semite, hating Jews, wanting them exterminated, loving Hitler, I mean, instead of just clips that you pulled,
Arthur,
you got to know. You don't think when he
says Stalin was a good guy on Tucker Carlson's show? What am I supposed to? What are my eyes and brain supposed to do?
Okay, there you go.
To do a deep dive historical lesson on Nick Fuentes' baptismal?
Yes.
What do you want?
I'm going to tell you.
No. No. You tell the world who you are.
I'm trying to. But you're just spurging. I'm trying to, but you're just spurging. Watch. Listen, because if you had actually listened to the whole spiel on Stalin, I don't think you would have gotten that. And as a matter of fact, you said Tucker Carlson. What did he say about Stalin and Tucker Carlson?
That it was his birthday, because that he was telling the story of when he got assassination attempt.
This is all that was said about Stalin on Tucker Carlson. September 18th. He was telling the story about the guy that came to his house to shoot him. And he goes, I remember that day because that guy came to shoot me, and also that's Stalin's birthday. And Tucker goes, Stalin? He goes, yeah, I'm actually a fan of his. But we'll
Yes.
get into that later. And then Tucker said, we'll get into that later, but they never got into it later. So if you
Okay.
go on, okay, I'm going to tell you right now. So if you go on Nick's actual show and listen to the actual Stalin spiel, what he actually said about Stalin, instead of him praising Stalin, I think you would just get a history lesson about Stalin. He never said Stalin was a great guy. In fact, he said Stalin was an evil guy that murdered millions of people. An absolutely evil person in history. That's what he said about Stalin.
Arthur, you are being diluted. You are being deflected.
So basically,
you were being manipulated because
so
Nick Fuentes tells you this, he says that.
okay, all right. So
I was just kidding. I was just saying this. No,
okay, you done?
no.
You done?
You tell me something definitive, something concrete, so I can take you seriously.
Well, you won't give me anything definitive or concrete other than Ben Shapiro clips.
Admiration and evil are not compatible.
You won't give me anything concrete. You don't give me any evidence. You just come on here and say, I got Ben Shapiro clips. I've given you everything concrete.
You are falling
I've
for
actually
language manipulation. They're not giving you anything concrete. They're giving you smoke, and you're falling for it. You're falling for it. I know. You can't read.
Okay, he's not done. He's got to keep going.
They are.
He's got to keep going. He's got to keep going. Are you done?
Okay.
So basically, when someone loses the argument, they accuse you of being diluted and delusional. That's a way for them to kind of save face.
Arthur,
by the way,
if you
see, he's not going to let me.
He's not going to let.
He's not going to. Now he's going to accuse me of being like a racist and someone who loves racist people. What I was going to say is please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that alert button. What were you going to say?
I can't go into your mind.
Right, you can't.
Well, it's the same thing.
But I can tell you. But I can tell you what actually happened.
He fooled Chamberlain.
Fooled everybody. Mm-hmm.
Chamberlain. He fooled Chamberlain. Yes, but I'm not going to invade Poland. Oh, and let's make a peace deal.
Right.
Appeasement. But he fooled everybody except Churchill.
But I can tell you actually verbatim what happened in that Tucker Carlson interview, and you can't, because I don't think you watched it. Okay. Did you watch it? Yes or no? Did you watch it?
I watched it.
You watched the whole thing in its entirety?
Do I have myself on videotape so I can prove it to you? No, I don't.
Well, what that tells me is that you didn't really pay attention because you're kind of misquoting the whole interview. You can't really tell me what happened.
Of the interview is I'm a big admirer of Stalin. What do I got? How am I supposed to react to that? How am I supposed to react to that?
Well, the way you're supposed to react is say, well, why is he saying this? I want to know why he's saying this. And they never got a chance. So it's vague. It's
not vague at all. You're vague. You are interpreting it as vague. But for me, it's not vague. It's black and white. It
wasn't discussed, and you're the one that does all the interpretation because you're the one giving this big speech about mysterious language. Interpretation. What am I supposed to think?
Yes. Okay.
If somebody loves world history, they're going to look at all sorts of world figures, and they're going to have all these different perspectives on why they think that they're remarkable and significant in world history. It could be a plethora of information, but you got to let them give you that information. So,
okay.
Well, I think that's going to be our show. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Boomer, any last words?
No, not really.
All right, man. Well, Boomer out.